Welcome back to Next Gen Investing. It's now time to talk all things FOMO, and rarely we are discussing Palantir today on a downbeat note. Frequently we discuss the stock, usually when it's surging, because it's been on a really phenomenal run this year and really the last several years. But joining us now is Sam Vadas, of course, contributor here for the Schwab Network. So Sam, really walk us through this report. I think this is fascinating because so much of the commentary has been so enthusiastic behind Palantir this year.
That's right, Jenny. And usually the FOMO is because it's heading in the other direction on the way up. That's certainly been the trajectory in recent months. So this is a really interesting one. The culprit here seems to be a short seller report from one of the most prominent short sellers in the market. So this is Citron saying that Palantir's valuation is irrational and the stock is overvalued. So this seems to be the reason behind what we've seen as far as quite a significant move to the downside today. Remembering it has been pulling back in recent sessions after what has been quite a remarkable run, up over 130% or so year to date, before, as I mentioned, this recent pullback and leg lower that we've seen. To be fair, we are seeing a sort of a broader sort of sector rotation out of some of the big names. We have seen certainly that theme in recent days, but you're talking about a decline to the tune of around 8%. So it does very much seem like things are linked to what we're hearing from this report. What this analyst is pointing to is the most recent valuation of OpenAI as part of the reason for why they think the stock is too pricey here. So on Friday, of course, we had these reports about OpenAI raising another $6 billion in funds with a $500 billion valuation. And so Citron is making the argument here that this valuation now puts OpenAI's price to sales, so the PS, at roughly 17 times. And what they're saying is that if you apply the same PS now to Palantir, the stock would trade at about $40. They say that's generous. So that is nowhere near where, of course, it trades today at 160 and change right now. But even at that price, Citron is saying that that would still be expensive. So as I mentioned, it's a really fascinating report in terms of the moves we've seen off the back of this, particularly because this has been really one of the hot names in this space, particularly over the last several months. And a lot of what has been driving these sort of triple-digit gains as far as what I said sort of year to date. We're still sitting up, I think, over 100% right now, but is the view that the company will win more government contracts, particularly under the Trump administration. It's also interesting, I was listening to some commentary also about the fact that one of the problems previously had been around Palantir, that many people didn't really understand what this company actually did. But in the most recent earnings report, they have been giving more examples to do with faster customer onboarding processes, faster processes of uncovering mortgage fraud. But many are wondering, just given the move we've seen, and that chart really spells it out more recently, particularly over the last week, whether the party is over for now. And speaking of parties, we know one person who does like to very much talk about where we're at in the AI party, that is Wedbush's Dan Ives. He's been talking about how this is the Lionel Messi of AI. It remains a huge winner, particularly when it comes to use cases, still with a price target of about $200. But they believe that in the next few years, Palantir has the potential to be $1 trillion market cap as the AI revolution takes hold. But Andrew Left, of course, who was the founder behind Citron Research, has been on Fox Business, has been writing these reports suggesting that he doesn't see the momentum that other people see in this stock. He said it is a great stock. He very much credited and talked up what the CEO has done, praised them, but he said that this is beyond overvalued at this stage. And some do agree with this. I've seen some other commentary out sort of suggesting that the valuation demands nearly flawless execution for years to come. And there is this view that when you compare it with the likes of OpenAI, the potential of OpenAI's growth and the ability and potential it has to transform the entire economy outweighs that of Palantir. And that seems to be the argument that this researcher is making.
Yeah, and it's a contrarian take, definitely, at that. So I think a great breakdown on all of that pessimism, which is really interesting. And of course, we did actually reach out to Andrew Left. He declined to appear on the network and provide any commentary. So we're left with really just that. But so appreciate it, Sam, for joining us today as always.